This is Scenic City Miatas, and this is going to be our June monthly meeting. My name is Austin Wilkerson. I'll be the one running our meeting for today. I'm also the president of this club. Today we'll be going over the following agenda. I'll be going through some of the old business, some of the things that happened in the last month. Going through the new business, some of the things that will be happening for the month of June and into July. I'll be going over the official schedule if you'd like to take a picture of the upcoming events. Going over the budget, how the money was spent in the last month. Going through some reminders as you've all been heard before. And I will be doing our closing where I pass around the donation bucket. To start off, I'll be going through some of our old business. So in the last month, we ended up having some of these events. And as you can see by the red outlined, it was a very wet month. So starting off, we had our SCM sim races. We had a speed hub right down the road here. It unfortunately rained, but luckily for us, it is an indoor event. We ended up having a nice little turnout of 6 people come out to that, which is perfect for the amount of machines that they had. Next, we ended up having our ice cream social, which did suck a little bit more because that is an outdoor event. But luckily for us, they do have an indoor event. Go ahead if you want to. Who all ended up going to that one, the ice cream event? Was it okay to do it indoors for once, or do we need to consider somewhere else if it's raining? Gotcha. Next, we ended up having our chips, cars, and coffee. This one, it did not rain during the event, but it rained before the event, which sucked as well because it really shortened the amount of people who wanted to come out, and it ended up making a lot of people not come out who would have otherwise. So we will push on for the next Chips, Cars, and Coffee to be the largest one of the event of the year. Next, we also had our collab event. Unfortunately, that one did rain enough to cause us to reschedule it. That will be rescheduled up here in June. And I'll be talking about here shortly in the new business. That rescheduled date is this upcoming Saturday. So this will be June 14th, again, this upcoming Saturday. As of right this second, this upcoming Saturday will be the current date, but we do have a rain date scheduled because rain is scheduled the entire day. If you want to look at the weather that I have pulled up here, just for Saturday alone, the majority of it's going to be rain. So a little bit worried about that, but I did go ahead and set up a rain day for that. So in the assumption that it does rain, I will go ahead and call it on either Thursday or maybe Wednesday night. But if we do have a rain date, we will schedule it to the June 28th. That way we at least have it in June, because at this point we're going to be pushing into July, and that sounds silly, but this is an event we are trying to have. I would like to have it. For anyone who doesn't know about this event, this is going to be our first collaboration event with this club. This is Miataville up from Nashville, Tennessee. They're wanting to come down and see some of the roads that we have here, so we're going to show them a good time with some of the best roads that I have planned. The roads that I have planned to be able to show them are showcased up here. Starting off in New Hope, Tennessee, cruising through Chattanooga, which unfortunately is the quickest way. Up and over Suck Creek Mountain, which has some great roads here locally. Then through Dallas Mountain. If you aren't familiar, that is one of my personal favorite roads locally. It's a really tight and twisty road, very similar to the Tail of the Dragon. Then up and over into Mulberry Mountain. Then where we end into Dunlap, Tennessee, where we get to have a nice lunchtime at the Cookie Jar Cafe. If you have not been there, they have some great views of the valley, and they have a great outdoor seating area, which I'd really like us to be able to use and enjoy, hopefully. So keep your fingers crossed that that one happens on Saturday. Putting my money on it, just being realistic with you guys. So if that doesn't happen, predict for it to be June 28th. So cool. On to our next event. Our monthly ice cream social. This month is going to be scheduled for Thursday, June 24th at our normal time of 6:30 during our summer months. Since it's starting to get darker later in the day, I like to have these just a little bit earlier so we can enjoy a little bit longer time. This is Dub's Place. If you have not been there, they have some great food and great ice cream. Has anybody just started to hate Dub's and doesn't want to go there anymore? Cool. So I like to hear. Hopefully Dub's is still working for us. I think they're a great location, and hopefully they'll be able to cater us for the rest of the year. Once Culver's opens, I do want to have a Culver's Day because that sounds super fun to me, but we'll wait until that gets opened. On to the next event. True. Well, I'm going back and forth if I want to have us park there or not because it gets muddy really easily there. So we're using that as a overflow lot. On to the next event. Harper's Cars and Coffee. So previously we had tried to go to Harper's Cars and Coffee, but it was rained out and canceled on their accord. They have rescheduled this event to July 13th. So for us, we are planning to go ahead and do that on July 13th. We will be meeting in Ottawa at 6 o'clock in the morning. All right, I just canceled the entire meeting. Sorry, guys. I guess that's all I got. Let's try this again. Make sure we're still doing that, which we are. All right, that works. So we will be meeting in Ottawa at 6 o'clock in the morning. It is a 1.5-hour drive from Ottawa, so we'll be getting there right at 8:30 or 7:30-ish. That way we can be ready to start the event at 8 because doors open at 8 and they pretty much go until the exact moment of 11 o'clock till they kick everyone out. This is the largest Cars and Coffee in the Southeast. So if you really want to see a heck ton of a lot of cars, this is going to be the place to see it. I don't think I have the picture on the background. No, I do not. But this is essentially 2 of Hamilton Place malls put together, and it's just full of cars. It will take the entire time to be able to walk all of it. So this is one of the more fun ones to go to if you like a whole bunch of cars that people own and people bring, rather than just the crazy supercars that you see at like Atlanta. So that will be on the 13th. Next, I am happy to announce our first Tech Day. A lot of you have been interested in being able to have a car up in the air on the lift to be able to see a little bit more about what goes on underneath your cars, how to adjust things, how to assess things, and even just to learn what a lot of the things do and how they interact with each other. So I've teamed up with Keeney's Auto and Diesel up in Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, and he's willing to host us for an event on July 19th. That is going to be a Saturday. He's going to have us have a 2-hour in-class session. So that'll be him on the computer actually walking us through his 120-point inspection that he does on all of his cars. He will have us 1-hour lunch to eat locally. Then after we come back, we'll have another 2-hour session where we're actually in his shop underneath one of his 4 lists that he has, pulling up a couple of our Miatas to actually show you primarily the basics and maybe just a bit into the intermediate side of how the car interacts with each other, a lot of the points that you would like to see as a mechanic who would like to keep up with your maintenance, know what the tires do, kind of how they interact with other components with your cars, more or less just seeing how your Miata specifically interacts with its own parts. So that should be interesting for anyone else to go to that. It will be a free event. Hopefully you guys are interested in being able to take your Miata to him afterwards. That's the goal of these, at least. But Keeney is the owner of it, and he has full rights to be able to have us be there. He will have you sign a liability waiver, but that's something better than Mazda ever has offered us. So hopefully this goes well for us. But yeah, anything that you guys would like to see who's going to go, who would like to see done specifically, like when the car's up on the lift, that way I can kind of forward it to him so he can kind of prepare for it a little bit. Anything you'd like to see specifically? Tie rods is a good one. I assume yours is broken.
When I had the alignment done, he mentioned something about the inner tie rods might possibly be bad, or might possibly be replaced if not bad.
Gotcha. He for sure wants to go through like fluid changes, being how to change your oil, your transmission, just basic maintenance items. So that should be an interesting. If you have any questions about that, be sure to bring them. He can hopefully answer them. Here's his shop up there in Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. He is a previous engineer, so he knows his stuff. First people to work on the Viper, if you actually know that. That's pretty cool. As was said, Barber. It's time to talk about Barber, one of my favorite places in this United States. If you're familiar with Barber Motorsports Park, it is one of the largest museums for motorcycles in all of America. He has 4 separate floors of hundreds upon thousands of motorcycles. And we're talking vintage 1912s to 2024s. On top of that, he does have a bunch of cool cars to show. And even on top of that, he has his own dang racetrack. Man, that guy's got it all. He's got the Cartwright Dream Place. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to go watch a race down there. Don't you guys think that'd be pretty cool? So the last time we went, we ended up getting to see the tail end of an SCCA event that they had going on, but I would like to actually propose us going to a race where cars are actually trying to battle out for points. So I would like to propose for an August event, either on the 16th, which is a Saturday, or the 23rd, which is also a Saturday. I personally lean more towards the 23rd, just because that is an actual car race versus a car track day, where people are allowed to pay to bring whatever car that they want. So I personally think a track day would be, or a car race would be a bit more enjoyable to watch. Or, if you guys are interested, this upcoming July, the 12th and 13th, again, I told you the 13th was originally planned to be Harper's Auto Show. If you guys prefer, since I don't want to do both of these on the same weekend, having the Saturday be us going down to Barber and actually watching the NASA Mid-South race. Now, NASA is a bit more on the prestigious side rather than SCCA, so I think this would be a bit more of, like, you have to have a license to actually run it, like a competition racing license, a W2W racing license. So I think that would be a bit more interesting to watch. I think there would be a lot more Miatas at that event specifically, just because it's aimed more towards a Miata-centric crowd than NASA races are. But I wanted to see your guys' opinions on that. Let me go to my next one. That's what I figured it would do. Right. If we were to do that event, the schedule is up here on the screen now. So for the Saturday event, they would be having the majority of the morning be either warm-up and qualifying, which I don't think we specifically would go to see. It'd be more so us going through the museum in the morning, and then having us actually seeing the racing schedule, which starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So 1:20 is their first race of the day. They ended up having 2. They're also incorporating the HPDE, which is their High Performance Defensive Educational Driving Program, which is where they bring, I believe, Porsche specifically onto the racetrack and teach defensive maneuver driving, which would be still pretty cool to watch. But they also have a group race number 2 later in the day. That one's at 3:55. But that'd be cool to be able to watch both of those if possible, or even just one if we could. But I think that'd be really fun to have us meet at maybe, say, oh, I didn't put it on here? Darn it. I have a newer version of this that I actually put the date and all that on, but I digress. By show of hands, who would be more interested in watching and going to this in July versus August? So if you want to go to the July event instead of August. This one would be July 12th. Correct.
The question is, would we still do the Cars and Coffee very early the next week?
No, we would push it back to us going to the next cars again, because I'm not going to do that. No. That's what I'm proposing as either or, because I don't mind doing one.
An hour time difference being in Birmingham.
That is true. That is true.
Don't confuse it.
Now, Harper's Cars and Coffee would happen again, but it wouldn't be until August, I believe, because they do bi-monthly. But we would be able to do that one in August, so it's not like we wouldn't be able to do it. It would just be pushed back to August. It's essentially choosing, do we want this one in July or do we want that one in August, realistically. Yeah, and there's a decent chance of that. It would suck. It's not off the table. But we also don't have to go to this year. We could also do Atlanta or something like that too. But I think they try and do it on the same day, so I don't know. But I think you guys would enjoy that one more. Personally, just from my research in the last 24 hours, I think that'd be more enjoyable. So let's go ahead and plan for that. So that one will be, go back, go back. I think that's it too, yeah. So we'll go ahead and plan for the Barber event on July 12th.
What is the cost for?
That's the problem. So the ticket price for this event is a bit question mark right now. So it's $40 just to get in the museum, period. But being a race weekend, they also say you have to pay for a race ticket too. I don't know the price of that. I have messaged them to be able to get an answer, and I should get one back in the next 24 hours. But I did research that, and by the sounds of it, there's going to be $40 plus another ticket. I just don't know what the other ticket cost will be yet. But I am researching that. But I don't expect it to be more than 80, but even then that's a lot of money. But so $40 a minimum, question mark at maximum realistically is where I'm at. But I'll get you.
$3 million.
Right. Yeah, right.
If you're urban, that's just walking money anyway.
Oh, you said that, I thought you were just
No, it's urban. So that's just walking money for urban.
So here I do have the official schedule. The Cars and Coffee obviously is not going to happen, so disregard that. So for the 12th, we are going to go ahead and do the Barber's Motorsport. Oh, I have a laser. Look at me go. Oh, of course, it doesn't show on the screen. That sucks. I'll just use something better. Look at me, guys. I have a mouse. So, Barber, we will go ahead and meet 8:30 in the morning. This is Eastern time. The place that we will be meeting will be on Central time. Keep that in mind. 8:30 in the morning at Cracker Barrel. This is in Lookout Valley. If you've been with us to Barber's before, this is the same location. We met there before. It's actually in a highway drive, so don't expect a very fun drive or anything special. So, otherwise, collaboration run with Miatas hopefully this weekend. If it doesn't, rain event will be on the 28th. Ice cream social again happening this month, and the next month our monthly meeting will be on the 9th. I hope that day's right because I did not change that. I believe that's probably wrong. Somebody date check me on that one. The 9th will be the 12th will be the Barber's Motorsports Park. Tech Day will be on the 19th, and then the ice cream social will be on the 24th. I am still trying to keep up with the weekly updates from the outdoor theater because I really would like to do that. I really, 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 really would. But the movies suck. Do what? Seriously. The last time we did it was when the last Fast and Furious came out. It's been a minute.
It's whatever movies they can get. So they have a deal with studios out in Hollywood, and it's just like, here's the cheapest movies for sale.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Very rarely. They are sometimes good movies, though. So, but
If it's doing good at the box office, it's fine to be out there.
yep,
The new Final Destination is
it is on the list too.
Lilo and Stitch and Thunderbolt. And Ballerina and Final Destination on the other. How many movies I want to see? I thought about Lilo and Stitch, but at first
That crossed my mind too, right? Because like family friendly always kind of sort of goes okay at the Miata Club, like.
ever since Disney started remaking all their animated stuff,
Huh.
especially live action.
They change the stories, that's the thing.
If they did it,
That would be a good one to see in the box office. Don't we have? Oh, it's on the 28th. Oh God.
So if it does get pushed, I'm giving you a heads up. There's like 14 of us going.
Holy shit. I mean, to be fair, we'll be done by. I assume it's a nighttime showing, isn't it?
no.
Oh. In the morning? Oh shit.
It's in Atlanta.
Oh God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they want to go see the big screen, and they want to.
I get
They
it.
want to go eat in downtown Atlanta.
To be fair, I had the same reaction when it said 10 a.m. I don't know. I was like, oh, that's a little early there.
All right, if you want to bring your attention back up front, I'll talk about the budget. So in the last month, we ended up having a starting budget of $88. Our monthly meeting brought in 19, where I got 5 of that. Donations, I passed the bucket around at our sim racing event. That way we could have people paying for the pizza. We ended up getting 20 bucks for that. I ended up spending 18 on that on pizza, and I ended up getting some napkins, plates, and water for that, and then following events after that. That ended up being $13 for a total current balance of 91. On to some of our reminders. If you are new at this club, you don't know it, but if you have been, you've been with us forever, you already know this 100 times over, but we do use FRS radios. We are continuously using that, and we will be using that for our collaboration event. We will also probably need to run it for our rundown to Barber. It's going to be as straight as an arrow event, so we probably won't really need them, but. Yep. Next, if you're interested in getting your logo printed on any of your clothing, you can take it down to Apparel Embroidery. You can find them on Heritage Park Drive. If you bring your own clothing to them, it's only $5 to put it on them. Just tell them you were with Scenic City Miatas. You can get one of those 2 logos you see on the screen. You can get it in any color you want. Pretty super simple if you want to do that. If you do want to use some of their clothing, you'll have to pay for their clothing, and on top of that, you pay their $5. Honestly, pricing isn't too bad. I recommend getting a bright yellow one. That way it matches everything and me. A yellow fan club. Austin 2 or something.
There's a thought. I'm going tomorrow.
Any Austin Powers or something.
I just walk around like this all the time. 1 million.
If you don't already have them, we do have club magnets. I sell them 2 for $10 if you're interested. If you have one of those Miatas, which I hope you do, that's where you put them on there. I hope you do. Lastly, we do run a monthly email chain. I do essentially give all the information that I've said during this meeting on that email chain. It goes out the day after our monthly event, so it'll be going out tomorrow. If you're interested in being signed up on that, go on to sceniccitymiatas.com and you can get signed up right down there below. Otherwise, that is all that I have for this meeting. I will go ahead and open up for any sort of discussion, any comments, questions, concerns on anything that I talked about today. Anyone have any questions about anything I talked about? I always got questions. Cool. Hopefully it doesn't rain on this Saturday. If it does,